This is one of the most secretive places in Britain, a landscape shaped by the tide, the wind, and a century of classified history. To understand what happened here, you first have to understand the place itself. Orford Ness is a remote shingle spit on the Suffolk coast. At 10 miles long, it's one of the largest of its kind in Europe, a constantly shifting barrier of stone between the River Alder and the North Sea. This fragile, desolate geography is precisely why it was chosen. It offered isolation, a natural buffer from the outside world. For decades, access was tightly controlled and the site barely appeared on maps. It was a blank space, deliberately erased from public view. The work conducted here was deemed so vital to national security that the entire peninsula was wrapped in a veil of official silence. This wasn't just a military base, it was an outdoor laboratory for the art of modern warfare. Its military story began long before the Cold War. During the First World War, the Royal Flying Corps established an airfield here to experiment with aerial gunnery and bomb ballistics. Even then, the value of its remoteness was clear. It was a place where new dangerous technologies could be perfected far from prying eyes. But it was in the run-up to the Second World War that Orford Ness secured its place in history. The Ministry of Defence used the site for pioneering work on a technology that would change everything: radar. Here, Robert Watson-Watt and his team developed the Chain Home system, the network of radar stations that gave Britain a critical advantage during the Battle of Britain. The flat, empty landscape was the perfect range to test the revolutionary idea of detecting aircraft with radio waves. After the war, the focus shifted. The dawn of the atomic age brought new fears, and Orford Ness became a key site for the atomic weapons research establishment. The work here was not about detonating nuclear bombs, but something almost as dangerous: testing the complex components that made them work. Scientists subjected triggers, detonators, and casings to extreme environmental stresses, vibration, heat, and immense G-forces to ensure they were safe during transit and deployment. Some projects were so sensitive that details remain restricted even today, locked away in classified archives. To manage these risks, they built extraordinary structures. These unusual concrete buildings, known as the pagodas, still stand across the landscape. They were laboratories, designed for tests that were never fully explained publicly. Their strange shape served a specific purpose. The massive concrete roof was designed to collapse inwards in the event of an accidental explosion, containing the blast and preventing the spread of hazardous materials. The isolation wasn't accidental. It was a fundamental requirement. Each test lab was built far from the next, separated by heavy earth banks. Orford Ness was chosen because failure here, a catastrophic accidental detonation, could be contained. It could be hidden from the world, a secret buried on the shingle. Beyond the pagodas, other experiments unfolded. The mysterious Cobra Mist project, an enormous over-the-horizon radar system, was built here in the late 1960s. It was designed to spy deep into the Soviet Union, but was plagued by unexplained noise and shut down after just a few years. Rumors persist about its true purpose, and its failure remains a puzzle. By the 1970s, the weapons program wound down. When testing ended, the site was sealed and left largely untouched. The scientists and soldiers departed, leaving their laboratories and equipment to the mercy of the salt-laced wind. For 2 decades, the Ness fell silent, a ghost of the Cold War. Today, it's open in limited form, managed by the National Trust as a national nature reserve. Visitors walk carefully along designated paths, kept at a safe distance from the decaying architecture of secrecy. But its past is still officially described as experimental and classified. The ground itself is a complex archive of what was built, what was tested, and what was left behind. Nature is slowly reclaiming the site, but the scars of its secret history remain etched into the shingle. Orford Ness wasn't built to be understood by the public. It was designed to keep its secrets. And even now, as the waves wash over the shore and the wind whistles through broken concrete, you get the sense that the landscape is still holding its breath. It was built to stay quiet.